Dude, I think we're going over 2 weeks almost.
That's too long for us, Steve. We haven't had that much detachment since we met.
No, seriously, like
And
we've
too much
texted a
just
bunch.
happened.
I know, like it's been a wild, just content overall. Like content, SummerSlam. You had a very interesting week with the poker with Paige and all them coming through. That was really cool to see. Or Saraya, sorry. That was really cool to see. We'll talk about that on Straight Shoots in some upcoming videos. But you've been busy, dude, and I do believe you were in New Jersey.
I was at the Meadowlands.
And
what a weekend.
How was your experience in the Meadowlands, bro?
Dude, it was like I remember going to WrestleMania 29 when I was 13 years old at MetLife Stadium. John Cena and The Rock, Triple H and Brock Lesnar, Taker Punk, which in my opinion was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen live. That atmosphere Saturday night for SummerSlam, and I can only imagine what it was last night too, on SummerSlam Night 2 on Sunday, was probably one of the greatest WWE crowds I've ever been a part of. I was at WrestleMania this year in Las Vegas. The crowd was there, but obviously the event kind of suffered in the eyes of people in comparison to SummerSlam. So SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium to me was probably one of, if not the best crowd I've ever been a part of.
They were hot. They were hot from start to finish. Arguably, I think Saturday's crowd, minus the return of Brock Lesnar, I think Saturday's crowd took Sunday. Like, I just, for some reason, it felt like Saturday's crowd just was ready to erupt. And I think, who was it? Triple H said, if there was a roof on top of MetLife Stadium, they would have blown it off. And over both nights, that thing would have been up in the atmosphere, because that was one of the coolest 2-night events I think we've ever seen. And I was very skeptical going into a 2-night SummerSlam of, do we need this? Yeah, we do. I am
That
looking.
That was WrestleMania level production too. That was a WrestleMania stage. It was a WrestleMania ramp. WrestleMania stadium. I mean, it was WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was.
It's like they said, sorry about WrestleMania 41. We're gonna redo it at SummerSlam. That's what that felt like.
And the card for night 2 was, I'm gonna say, better than both cards on WrestleMania 41. Night 2 of SummerSlam on paper was better than both nights. We can argue, go back and forth, and I'm sure you and I are going to record some videos this week talking about all of that, but arguably that was just insane. Like, I'm so jealous I didn't get to go. Like, I saw content creators left and right. Did you get to meet up with anyone? Did you connect with anyone?
No, I was texting a ton of people. I was texting Alan Owens. I was texting Forgive Me Girls, the twins that I see all the time now, who just created a TikTok page. They live in New Jersey. Didn't get to catch up with anybody. Was supposed to do something for House of Highlights as well that fell through. Okay. Apparently they're doing production 2 weeks from now. I'm not flying back again in 2 weeks. But would have loved to have been a part of that. My friends over at TickPick were there with Alan Owens as well. TickPick was a proud sponsor of my show for a very long time. There were a lot of people there. Just didn't get the chance to. I was in and out, man. I know the MetLife Stadium traffic and didn't want to be a part of it. We had a family vacation down on the Jersey Shore this week too. Had to be a part of that. So just trying to balance a lot of things. But I'm hoping that you and I can get together for Survivor Series in San Diego and see a ton of people.
Dude, it's not even a question for Survivor Series at this point. I have told you my displeasure of San Diego. I'm not a fan of San Diego, but for Survivor Series this year, there is no way I'm missing Survivor Series, War Games at Petco Park. There's no way. And you and I being able to get together, I was just able to announce tonight that I've partnered with Players Lounge, so we're going to be doing something with them in the future. I've mentioned to you, we haven't dropped all the information yet, but we've got something good and great coming up with Straight Shoot in probably about 4 weeks time. So that's gonna drop, and we'll be able to announce all that information. But let's get into Monday Night Raw, because this is what we want to talk about. And I want to kick off. I think you saw Raw differently than I did. So I'm just jumping ahead of the curve here, but I was really disappointed with Raw. And the reason is going into Monday Night Raw, coming out of SummerSlam, you're feeling like SummerSlam was a WrestleMania. So you're expecting Brooklyn. You're expecting Raw after WrestleMania, Raw after SummerSlam. You're expecting WWE to throw everything at the wall. And it felt like they threw too much at the wall at this point for all of Monday Night Raw. There was a lot of backstage segments, the commercial break segments that I know you guys don't really get in the States, but like they had a segment with Naomi cutting a promo in front of the crowd and it cut early and she was halfway through. They just cut her off. And I'm like, what is going on? And that felt like the entire story of Monday Night Raw. Like the opening segment was 30 minutes. So you look at that and you're like, okay, we're going to get a banger and we're going to get something massive at the end of the show. And it felt like they ran over about 7 or 8 minutes, and which I'm pretty sure Bruce Pritchard is losing his mind about. But all it was to write off Roman. Like, it just felt so anticlimactic. Where's Jay? Like, where's Jay? Like, you had LA Knight, CM Punk taken out. Roman comes in for the save, which we want that face-to-face with Seth and Roman, which was great. But then just to write him off, like, help me out here.
I don't know if they're necessarily writing him off. I mean, he's taken tsunamis before in the past. And then, I mean, on this build up to SummerSlam, he took 3 tsunamis, I think, like last week on Raw. So it's like, I don't necessarily think they were writing him off, but if they were, I get it too. Roman Reigns has, in my opinion, has earned the time with his family and has earned to show up at PLEs, this generation's Brock Lesnar, but way better. Because he can actually wrestle. Almost broke his neck on Saturday, though. I do got to say that. He almost wrote himself off with that dive over the top rope, landing on both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. But I didn't mind it. And I'm shocked to hear you say that you were disappointed, because I think coming out of SummerSlam, you got probably the best 2-night event that the WWE's ever put on, besides WrestleMania 40, of course.
Yeah.
And coming off of it, you got to see CM Punk try to kick Seth Rollins' ass. You got a World Heavyweight Championship match in the main event. You're probably going to see some sort of potential feud with CM Punk and LA Knight, both going after Seth Rollins and potentially each other. Who knows? Maybe Roman Reigns sticks around and we have Punk, Reigns, and LA Knight against Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Though after a SummerSlam tag team match, that might not make sense. But I think there was a lot more into this Raw. It introduced new storylines. In my opinion, a great promo between Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella over the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I will say, and I wanted to text you over this, probably the most awkward promo I've ever heard in my life between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss before the Judgment Day came out. Very weird. They couldn't say the F word. They couldn't say the A word. I'll say the A word right now. It was awkward. It was very awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, Seth Rollins' promo at the beginning, great. LA Knight interrupting him only made sense considering LA Knight was his opponent when he faked his injury at Saturday night's main event, and they made it seem very real. Like, WWE was able to recreate kayfabe in a way where it's like, we think we have it all figured out, and then they do, and we kind of knew, we kind of sensed that maybe he was faking it, but no one was really for sure until he dropped those crutches before he was going back, which was the loudest pop I've ever heard inside a stadium for a WWE event. I could only imagine what it was like when Lesnar's music hit. But to me, that was an exceptional Monday Night Raw for after 2 of the greatest events that they've put on in recent memory. I was not disappointed tonight. I wasn't expecting like Cena and Lesnar to brawl or anything like that. Yeah. I was expecting Seth Rollins and CM Punk to be the mainstay of that show. And the fact that we got Roman once again after they started rolling the credits, you saw the copyright image in the bottom right-hand corner. You're thinking, and I kind of knew, I'm like, I feel like it's not over. It's kind of like WrestleMania again, like the night after WrestleMania. And then Roman's music hit. I hope they're not writing him off. If they are, we'll see you in Riyadh for the Royal Rumble, Roman.
No,
But I feel like he's going to be around. I feel like he's going to be at War Games at the very least.
Oh, War Games at very least, but just remember he's going to film Street Fighter, and Street Fighter is being filmed in Australia. So,
but isn't Cody Rhodes in that movie too? And they just put the strap on him.
they just put the strap on him, but like Cody's like a full time. He wants that John Cena schedule. WWE will do everything to have a jet available, a G350 ready for him to fly across the ocean every now and again, just to get to every show. Like, if you look at it too, if you look at the entire schedule, and I believe I'm correct on this, this is the back end of the Eastern schedule, and then we're moving back over to the West Coast for going right into Survivor Series, I believe. So we've got the international dates, right? So we have Perth, we have Paris for the PLEs. So everything is going to be towards the West Coast. And then we're probably going to get like Vegas. We're probably going to get Phoenix. We're probably going to get Austin. We'll probably get Portland, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get everything over on the West Coast. So Cody, that jump over to film is going to be pretty easy for Cody to do if WWE lays out the red carpet for him to do that. I don't think Cody's going to take movie roles when pro wrestling is his number one. And they wouldn't have done what they did at SummerSlam with the full passing of the torch. Like, that was a genuine... I don't think we've ever seen a more pure passing of the torch than we did. I didn't think John Cena was coming back as the face. I thought it was a pure work. But that was the purest passing of the torch we've ever seen in pro wrestling.
100%. I mean, Rock Hogan is like... that was more so a double turn of what we thought we were going to see at SummerSlam this year. But yeah, I mean, we've seen Cena kind of pass the torch to Roman Reigns back in 2017, though, like, we didn't really want it or accept it. This was more of like, even like Rock passing the torch to Cena at 29. That's kind of what it felt like, even though like Cena was already the guy. This was a true, like, Cody Rhodes is the next white meat babyface, and Cena passed the torch. To me, I feel like I would have preferred a way better storyline to turn John Cena babyface, as opposed to him just realizing his error, like the error of his ways, which, like, of course, only John Cena can turn himself babyface by realizing the error of his ways, right? Or like maybe they'll pass it up and say Cody Rhodes brought back the real John Cena, right? And only Cody Rhodes can do that because he's also a white meat babyface. But I would have preferred something a little bit different. The fact that we're most definitely never going to see the payoff to that Rock Soul storyline.
I think that's why they did it. I think that's honestly why they did it, and why they kind of rushed it, which seems like we've discussed this and we've beaten this to death. It's almost like with so many PLEs and so many major episodes of WWE coming up that they seem to be rushing the storylines, and if it just doesn't work, they'll just throw something into it. And that's what it felt like that John Cena promo was. And that's why I'm like, I'm not buying this. I was adamant that we were going to get a kick to the nuts or something, a title shot, whatever. And then everyone talking about like, oh, Cody's going to reverse it and we're going to get the double turn. And it's just like, no, like, my biggest argument about the whole thing was who fills Cody's shoes? There's no one. There's literally no one. If Cody disappeared tomorrow, there's no one, no pure, right now ready white meat babyface, like you said, ready to jump into that position. You could say Braun Breaker, he's technically a heel. Trick Williams hasn't even been called up yet. You look at Joe Hendry, he could get pulled from TNA and sign his contract with WWE. I don't think Joe Hendry's ready. We had a conversation a few weeks ago about a woman, kind of a female, stepping into that position. The only two people that myself and my entire chat came up with was Rhea Ripley and LA Knight. But who do either one of those people want to take the Cody Rhodes schedule?
I think they would if they could. If LA Knight was offered the Cody Rhodes gig and you're the new face of the company, he'll do whatever it takes, especially with
his
the
age.
And Rhea Ripley as well. Yeah.
Oh,
well, the thing is, they wouldn't make him the guy at his age anyways. It's going to be the to me, Braun Breaker is the clear-cut future of the WWE from every angle. He can get over with the crowd as a face. We've already seen it. He can be a great heel. We've already seen it. He's going to get the Paul Heyman rub for years to come. We're already seeing that. Yeah. Right now, if Cody Rhodes left to go film Street Fighter for 3 months with Roman and we didn't see him, CM Punk is your guy. He's the guy that's going to be there week in and week out on television, telling stories alongside, John Cena for the next few months. I feel like now that Cena's a babyface, he can justify, and I feel like now that it's coming down to the wire, I believe there's 12 dates left to be exact.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to add a couple more dates. I feel like once we come down to the wire, and I could be wrong, but I hope I'm right, that John Cena is going to be like, all right, for these final 2 months, let's be on TV almost every week. Like, let's actually see what we can do.
I think Cena is the type of personality, like the type of human that he wants to legitimately stick to what he said. Like, he's the type that, you know what, I said I'm going to do this.
He can leave in December, 1,000%, but it's like, oh, we're coming to the end. I feel like we still haven't fully told this story yet, or I haven't faced this person. I'd really like to face this person, as opposed to being like, 10 dates left, that's all I'm willing to give you. I feel like towards the end, he's going to add like a Raw or SmackDown. Like, there's going to be like 1 or 2, maybe 3 dates that he adds. Like, it would be awesome. There was someone I think it was your chat or someone else's chat the other day that said, now that Cena's not the WWE champion, please have him beat Dominic Mysterio and hold an IC Open challenge for like the final 2 weeks of his career.
That would be cool. That definitely wasn't my chat.
And then drop the title in his last match.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't my chat, because I swear I would have seen that, but that is a cool option. That's for sure. All right, let's get into like fully into Raw. And we can just go sporadically. Rusev and Sheamus, they literally fought for 2 hours. Those dudes had a great match. I think the match was fantastic. I just didn't like the ending. I think the ending, like post the match ending, was more entertaining than the entire match. But this whole story between Rusev and Sheamus, where are we going with this? That's my question.
They're both European, or one's Russian, one's European, obviously from Ireland.
Ireland and Belgium.
Flash in Paris. I mean, will they get a kick out of that if they have like
cage street fight?
I mean, you just had a cage match, right, with Jacob and Solo.
Yeah.
I could see, fight forever. Give him 30 minutes, 30-minute Iron Man match.
Ooh,
they're not going to get 60.
An Iron Man match would be great between those two. I'd be okay.
I think that's
with
the only, and then obviously Rusev goes over, right? Like, that's the whole purpose of this, is to get Rusev over, right?
Yeah.
To me, it was interesting. Now you're kind of including Sami Zayn in that, because the guy he beat at SummerSlam, I hate to break it to you, Steve, he's on his way out. And I think
he's done.
They've made
Did you see his social media today?
Yeah, dude, he called out Triple H for just like basically not listening to the fans, right? We want Cross, and oh, you want Brock? We gave you Brock.
Yeah, wild. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting way to push Rusev. Sammy being involved in that, I don't know where that gets him to the world title. And all Sammy is talking about is getting to the world title, and there's a massive gap there. But I'm sure we will.
Do you see a scenario there where, to me, it's going to be Reigns and Rollins at WrestleMania? I still think that's the plan.
Has to be.
Right now, like, there's no reason at all to take the title off of Seth before then. And I think we can agree that Reigns versus Rollins is a WrestleMania Night 2 main event. And having him defend the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania elevates that title, and it needs elevation. It got the perfect main event between Punk and Gunther. Like, that was an awesome main event on Saturday.
So good.
So like, where does Sami Zayn fit into these title pictures? Like, I don't see him becoming a world champion anytime within the next 12 months.
Yeah. The one thing I want to say about that is John Cena, that he's gone now. Like, that whole final match thing with Cody, I thought John Cena would drop it at the end.
Yeah, I thought that was the whole point of him saying, I'm walking out with this title. I thought, of course, he's going to carry it into his last match.
I'm almost wondering if they scrapped a certain storyline.
Yeah, because I do feel like the face turn was insanely rushed. So there was definitely something that someone couldn't commit to. And when I say someone, I mean Dwayne. I feel like, and credit to him, he's the busiest guy in the world. And I'm not taking anything away and saying like fuck you, Dwayne, for not showing up
Yeah.
or committing to things. But like it is annoying as a fan to not get the payoff to like one of the most monumental moments you've ever seen in the history of pro wrestling. For that to kind of just be like ancient history now and like you're not going to see it, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, business is business. You got to pivot, right? And it seems like Cena was the guy that was like, I want Brock Lesnar to come back. I want one more match with that guy. And we're getting that instead, which was shocking and awesome to see. So it's just as satisfying, but it is a little annoying that I think they had to pivot certain things. And I think they've had to pivot multiple times. Like nobody thought the R-Truth movement was going to be a thing. So they had to pivot and do that.
But that's basically died as well now. It's like we don't know what the hell's going on with R-Truth because we haven't seen him in 3 weeks. But back to the Sammy thing, like I don't know where he fits. I don't know what they're trying to build and how they're trying to make us believe that Sammy fits into a world title or a undisputed championship picture. Like right now, I don't even see where Sammy gets into the IC title picture. Minus the US title on a different show. I don't see where Sammy gets into any title picture. Maybe the Speed Championship. And speaking of the Speed Championship, let's talk about the Speed Champion, El Grande Americano. Which version of El Grande Americano are we talking about here? We have four El Grande Americanos. Bro, it's the Spider-Man meme. What is going on with El Grande Americano?
So we know Chad Gable, we know Ludwig Kaiser, we know
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne. We don't know the fourth. That one you didn't really see his face, like the final guy that came in with the sidekick.
The thing is, the sidekick looks so familiar.
Yeah, I'd have to like really do my homework on it, but
like I'm very confused at what I'm looking at, but like, are they trying to make El Grande Americano just a full-blown meme, or are they actually building something here?
That's the beautiful thing about pro wrestling, Steve, is that we get to guess every single week. I still would love to see Omos wearing that mask. I think that would be the greatest thing ever.
Omos comes out in El Grande Americano gear, I'm going to die. But with this whole segment, talking about the El Grande Americanos, Dominic Mysterio, the hottest heel, I'm going to say, in pro wrestling. Like, he is the hottest face heel. That's the only way I can describe it in pro wrestling. Dominic Mysterio is so over right now. That match against AJ Styles was phenomenal. I think building the homage to Eddie Guerrero and the way they built that around the entire match was beautiful. But even tonight, like, I don't know if you saw the commercial break segment, but the crowd was so hot for Dom. Just chanting like dirty, dirty Dom, all that. And great match against Dragon Lee. But are we finding it to be a direction for Dom that, yes, the IC title is priority, but with this AAA event coming up on August 16th, are we going to see Dom as the face of AAA?
It's an interesting take. I don't necessarily think that he's going to be like a mainstay on AAA. It helps AAA. WWE just signed them. It's good cross promotion, but at the same time, you're still building Dom to be one of your stars of the future. You talk about the Braun Breakers of the world, the Bronson Reeds of the world. Dominic Mysterio, whether we like it or not, he's going to be a mainstay on WWE television for like 20 years to come. So I could see them going that route. I could see him being a very prominent figure on AAA, but I don't think he's going to be like one of their guys. I don't see WWE utilizing any of their current top guys that sell a lot of merch and make a lot of money for the business and putting them into another company.
I've got another take on this. I see they've invested in AAA. They need to make AAA mainstream. And I'm almost going to say this right now. Coming out of August 16th, I cannot think of the name of the event for AAA. But I'm going to say Dominic Mysterio walks out with the Mega Championship and is carrying the AAA Mega Championship on Monday Night Raw. With the IC title. With the IC title. Double champ Dom. the ego boost, the cockiness, everything that Dominic Mysterio is. They're gonna put a rocket to Dominic Mysterio and literally have him run AAA. Obviously, have Vikingo come up and do run-ins on Raw to give more views to AAA to bring back that investment. I'm gonna say that right now. Dominic Mysterio will be the face of AAA for probably the next 5 years.
Do you think we will get one more Rey versus Dominic match in AAA?
I think AAA is the position that WWE needs to take for that match to have Rey's retirement match. It has to be AAA. Like, personally, I think if in a multiverse of madness, Rey's retirement match for me should have been against like Eddie Guerrero if he was still here in WCW, if WCW was still available. Now that Dominic is who Dominic is, and AAA being where Rey basically came from, this is Dominic versus Rey for the Mega Championship or the IC title, the WWE IC title on AAA television. That would be probably the best retirement match for Rey Mysterio.
Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that, 5 minutes ago, but now you've explained it to me and you got me hooked. I've processed it. I'm on board with it. I think it would be really cool to see Dominic Mysterio be the double belt, the two. What did Becky always call herself?
Becky two belts. Double champ,
two belts. Dommy two belts in WWE and in AAA. I could see it.
And I don't think people would be annoyed with it either. I think it's actually going to sell more merch for AAA. You got Mr. Iguana, who's literally the most over. I had Vigilante sent me a photo while he was in his suite with Mr. Iguana with the iguana on his shoulder. Like, the guy is so over. It's so cool to see. AAA is going to be a massive part of WWE. They, unfortunately, and this is nothing against Alberto El Patron, they needed to get rid of him to solidify that buyout, if that makes sense. And granted, a lot of people in the comments could turn around and say, well, we could talk about Brock Lesnar and all this shit too, which I'm not even going to get into that conversation, but like, WWE now controls AAA, period. There's nothing else that they have to worry about in AAA. Now, take a WWE guy, a Latino WWE guy with the name Mysterio, and make him the face of the company, bro. Money. That Mexican community is going to take over AAA. AAA is going to be one of the biggest tickets sold for the future. And I love it with Dominic Mysterio at the helm. So going into, I want to shift though, because you mentioned Becky Lynch. What a segment. I've not reacted. And my reaction, I'm pretty sure I haven't even looked at my phone. I guarantee there's tens of thousands of views on that reaction already. Becky Lynch violated Nikki Bella. Like, granted, I was not happy that Nikki Bella was the next, person to challenge Becky. We're probably going to get that at Clash in Paris. But that was a personal violation that I never thought we would see since the whole Ronda Rousey thing with the Bellas. What was that, 2018, 2017?
I mean, she was still with John, if I'm not mistaken, in that era. That was like the tail end.
No, that's because she said the only reason you're relevant is because John Cena, you climbed into John Cena's bedroom and then he kicked you out through the door or whatever it was. So no, that they weren't together anymore. 2018. There you go.
I believe 2018 is when they officially split up. Because I am a fan of the family. I have watched Total Bellas every single season. I got really bored one week and watched Total Bellas, and I think they broke up in 2018, but then they got back together for like 6 months. So it was like the tail end of 2018.
the condo in LA, right? They bought that apartment in LA or whatever it was.
Right. I think it was San Diego, actually. It was San Diego.
Yeah.
They also had a Tampa home. And that's where John
Yep.
was staying during the breakup, which was interesting. But yeah, they got back together because John caved. He's like, I will marry you and have children with you.
Yes.
And Nikki Bella still broke his heart. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, love is difficult, Steve. As you know, it is very give and take.
As I know. Throw me under the bus, why don't you?
I'm single. I'm in my 20s. I wouldn't know. Nikki Bella knows. Steve Tesh knows. Yeah, I believe it was 2018. So that was, I believe the line from Ronda Rousey was, the only door you've ever kicked down is the door to John Cena's bedroom. Yes. I believe that was the line. But Becky Lynch completely ran that line over tonight. You know, basically saying, don't talk about me and my hot husband. Seth freaking Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion. They are the biggest power couple in WWE now, as she alluded to. And she's like, and I knew as soon as she said that line, I'm like, is she going to pull the trigger? Is she going to pull the trigger right now on the thing that nobody really talks about ever since John Cena and Nikki Bella have both been on WWE programming consistently lately? And I might be the only one invested in that. We talked a few months ago when Nikki Bella returned to Raw in Phoenix and John Cena was going to be there. I'm like, what if a heel John Cena cuts a promo on Nikki Bella? Like, yeah. I would have probably been the only one with his mind blown. Because everybody in the comments were just like, nobody wants to see that, dude. You're an idiot. But tonight, I'm like, is Becky Lynch going to pull the trigger? And when she said, but wait a minute, weren't you the most power couple with, oh my God, you know, like, I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to go there. And the crowd reacted to that as if it was the biggest burn in WWE history.
Dude, Brooklyn, the thing is, they did it in the right city. Like, Brooklyn, like, you know, you walk, I've never been to Brooklyn, but I have a lot of friends and relatives that live in the Brooklyn area. And it's just their mentality. If you've got a good burn, like, it's like the world ended. And to have whatever it was, 15, 17,000 people in Barclays for that. And for Becky to drop one of the coldest lines. I think that was actually the coldest line Becky's ever dropped in any promo. Easy. It was low-hanging fruit, too. Like,
they definitely talked about it before.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh,
there was no moment where, like, earlier in the year with Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton where, like, they obviously didn't talk about it. And then we found out on WWE Unreal that they did not talk about it beforehand, and Triple H made them apologize, or made Tiffany apologize to Charlotte.
Yeah.
This was a moment where immediately I'm like, oh, Nikki's reacting to this well. She's, like, throwing her hands up in the air. She's like, yeah, that was a real burn right there. You know, like, they talked about it, which was good. Two veterans, right?
Oh. So good. But I guess we're going to get that match at Clash in Paris.
And that's the thing, too. Clash in Paris, like, it's an international PLE. You know that crowd is going to be bonkers. Like, here's what I'm assuming we're getting right off the bat. Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. I don't know what else is going to kind of fill that card as of right now. Seth Rollins, it looks like, has a few challengers on his hands. Yeah. So I don't know how they're going to play that out necessarily. I think the Punk-Rollins feud is probably going to run through the rest of the 2025 calendar year before they get to Roman and Seth. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that out. But those are the two confirmed matches in my mind: Cena, Lesnar, Nikki, and Becky.
See, I think Cena Lesnar carries to Perth. Perth is a massive event. Perth is a massive event. Like,
so who's Cena facing in Paris then?
Is he actually booked for Paris?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
He's booked for the next 4 weeks leading up to Paris.
Then it's just going to be, well, it might be him and Lesnar and then maybe a rematch in Perth. But, like, I feel Brock and Cena is more valuable in Perth. Like, that's a 67,000 person stadium that they're going to be in.
Again, it's also a match, and I know it's been over 10 years since they've gone one-on-one, which is crazy to think about. But, like, the second he F5 John Cena, I'm like, oh, I'm 16 again, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a 23-year feud.
It really, I mean, it's not quite Cena Orton. it's not quite Cena Punk, but it is like a legendary WWE feud for us growing up. But at the same time, it's like you could do that match in Paris. The crowd will be great for it.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe this carries on, and this could carry all the way to War Games. I mean, could you imagine a John Cena-led team with like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso to take on Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and like Drew McIntyre? Like, that's an all-star War Games match.
It's an all-star War Games match. I don't think we're going that far with it, and I've just made a mistake in what I was saying. They're actually not in a stadium in Perth. I believe they're in just a regular arena. They're not doing Optus Stadium again. So
they're going all the way to Perth to be in an arena. That's interesting.
I believe they're just in a larger arena. I don't believe they're in Optus again for that event. I could be wrong, but from what I remember, I'm pretty sure it's a stadium. But no, we never know. But Paris is going to be crazy. Yeah, they're in RAC Arena for Perth. So it's only going to be 20,000. So that's a weird situation on that part. So Perth isn't actually going to be as big as we thought it was. But overall, Paris is going to be, Clash in Paris. It's the first time they've gone outside the UK for Clash. Yeah, I can see that Paris crowd getting a special night. So overall, dude, I think we've covered most of the key points of Monday Night Raw. But what is your ranking? Because I came in pretty negative on my feeling on Monday Night Raw. What's your ranking overall of the entire show?
The Becky Nikki promo was awesome.
Yep.
I thought the ending is exactly what it needed to be. Seth Rollins needed to be on top, and we needed to see how dark of a cloud that this Seth Rollins Empire group and stable is, with Rollins, Heyman, Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is collecting Jordans left and right these past 2 weeks. That's probably going to be a thing. He's probably going to have a kick-ass collection of Roman Reigns' shoes.
The Shulafalas.
Like you had the Shulafalas.
Did you not know that was a thing?
No, that's the first time I've heard that. That's a
dude. Dead ass. Like, that started trending when he stole the first pair, all through the week, and they used it on Monday Night Raw. Paul Heyman used it in the promo, saying the collector of the Shulafalas, and I'm like, no way.
Oh, they're gonna sell a lot of t-shirts. They are gonna sell a lot. By the way, I couldn't find Jacob Fatu's t-shirt that you were looking for on Saturday, so my apologies. You will not be getting a t-shirt sent to you in Toronto. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I'm gonna assume you're gonna go lower than that. 7.5, I feel like, is reasonable. That show was a good show following SummerSlam. It's not the Raw after WrestleMania, but like, it is a Raw where it's like new storylines are being introduced. And I thought it ended the way that it needed to end, and we got all the big names. They saw CM Punk, they saw Roman Reigns, they saw LA Knight. A lot of fans love LA Knight. They saw a world title match, and they saw a lot of great promos. So I give it a 7.5.
Overall, like, on paper, I think the show was really good, but I think the execution of the show was just a little lacking in my mind. Like you said, that Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss segment, even though I love Charlotte and Alexa together, I think this is the best version of Charlotte we have ever gotten. I think just Charlotte relaxing and enjoying herself is great to see. Don't even care what the stuff was said on Unreal. I just like this version of Charlotte, and then obviously me being a complete mark for Alexa Bliss is great. But the execution was just so poor. This episode felt very Judgment Day led, which we've not seen in like a year. And then the build at the start of the show compared to the execution of the end of the show, for me, I just couldn't get through it. I personally, if I wasn't on stream, I probably would have turned it off and done something else. I'm going with a flat 6 out of 10. Like, that's probably the lowest ranked I've ever done a Monday Night Raw since we started doing this.
It doesn't beat my Saturday Night's Main Event 4, but
no, that's true. Low. Yeah, so I'm going 6 out of 10 on that. But guys, in the comments, let us know what you thought of the show. Guys, appreciate you guys being on the stream. Jack and I are back together. I think we can say we are going to be creating a hell of a lot of content this week because we got a lot to talk about. But guys, like always, be good people.